This week, I'm going to lead you through a core practice. So we're going to focus very much on the corset muscles around the spine using both movements and long-held poses. Let's get started. For this week's practice, a yoga block could be a very handy prop. And if you don't have a yoga-specific block, you could use some books or even pillows as a prop for this week's practice. And then we're going to start from lying down on the back. We're going to do 2 rotations going through the front, the sides, and the back of those corset muscles around the spine. You can repeat this as many times as you like. So if 2 rotations aren't enough for you, then feel free to go on for longer. So starting from lying down on the back. Make sure you have some space to extend your legs and to extend your arms overhead. And then before we go into the movements, we're going to take a few breaths here. And I would highly encourage you to focus on using your breath in engaging your core. And that might include using Ujjayi breath if Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice. But it could also be just using that simple idea of, with each exhalation, you're in a way drawing in, tightening the corset around your spine. So it might involve gently drawing in through the lower belly, but also drawing in through the sides. So it's like this actual corset tightening, kind of gently squeezing in around your torso. And this is when you're engaging those deeper abdominal muscles. And I'm suggesting, with each exhalation, you're gently drawing in through that corset. To maintain that support as you breathe in, focus on inhaling more to your ribs, inhaling out to the sides. We call this lateral breathing. And this way, with each in-breath, you can also maintain that core support, that gentle tightening of the corset. Let's take another few breaths here with that same idea. With exhalations, gently drawing in through the lower belly, through the sides. If it helps you, you might visualize a toothpaste tube. So as you're squeezing the toothpaste out, you're tightening around the spine, around that core. Take another breath in and out. And then we'll start to move. And first, we're going to extend the left leg and extend the left arm. We're going to bring right arm overhead and keep the right foot on the floor, right knee bent. Now inhale here, extend the left leg and right arm away from each other. As you exhale, lift your left leg and left arm together at the center, reaching them up towards the ceiling, lifting your upper back, your head off the mat. Inhale, lengthen them back down, almost touching the floor. Exhale, bring them back together at the center. We continue with this, another 10 repetitions. Inhaling, lengthen, open. Exhale, touching in the center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, touching in the middle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reaching long, try not to touch the floor. Exhale in the center. Another 5 times. You can follow your own breath. Really try to start the exhalations from your lower belly. So you're drawing in as you exhale. Another 3 times. Keeping the right arm, the left leg long. 2 more times. Focus on moving slowly with control. Last time. And then release down. Bring both arms next to your sides, bend both knees, and a few times swing your legs from side to side. Maybe take a couple of belly breaths, release your abdominals. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So now we're going to extend the right leg, extend right arm down next to the side, and then extend left arm overhead and left foot on the mat. Again, we're going to exhale, bring now the right leg, left arm close together or even touching. And then with the in-breath, lengthen the right leg and left arm away from each other. Again, as you exhale, bring the right leg, left arm in the center. So you're lifting your upper back, head, neck off the mat. And then we'll do another 10 rounds. Inhale, hover the right leg, the left arm off the mat. Exhale to center. Inhale, reaching apart. Exhale in the center. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And again, exhalation, start from the lower belly. Gently squeezing out. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do another 5. Move slowly with control. And follow your own breath. Inhale, reaching out. Exhaling to center. 3 more times in your own pace. One more time. Or finish those 10 times. And then release the arm. You can release the legs. And just give a gentle tap to your abdominal muscles. Take a deeper breath in and out. And then we're going to roll onto our side. I'm going to go to the left side first. You can choose which side you do first. We are going to go through both sides. And we're going to now bend the left knee. So if you're on your left side, bend the left knee, the lower leg. And then I have my left elbow under the left shoulder. And from here, we're going to lift onto the left elbow and left knee, keeping the right leg extended. You can either keep your right arm down on the side or reach your right arm up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to now exhale, lower the pelvis almost to the mat, and then inhale, lift the pelvis up. Exhale, lowering down, not collapsing down, controlling the way down, and inhale, lifting up. Another 5 times. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling, slowly controlling down, using your sides here. Inhaling up. 3 more times with your own breath. Inhalation, lifting the pelvis up. Really use the left side of your body. Exhale down. Inhale up. 1 more time. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And now stay hovering here. We're going to lift the right leg up into the air. And breathing here. Keep breathing in and out. Keep pushing the floor away with your left arm. Keep reaching your right foot away from the head. Hover the pelvis off the mat. Another few breaths in and out. And then with your next exhalation, slowly lower the pelvis down. Bring both hands on the mat and come up onto hands and knees. And we'll just move here a bit. Circling from hands to knees, knees to hands. Again, you could take a couple of deeper breaths in and out. Change the direction of those circles. Allow your neck to move, head to move. And then we're going to slowly find our way down onto the belly. And now we're going to go and strengthen more the back side of that corset. And we're going to do some locust poses. We're going to lengthen arms next to the sides. And now imagine your inner thighs are hugging towards each other. They don't need to touch, but they're kind of magnetized towards each other. We're going to reach head away from the feet, lightly press down through the front of the pelvis, and again draw in through the corset. As you exhale, drawing in. Then as you inhale, lift your chest and your legs slightly off the mat, keeping that long line from head to your feet. Hover there, breathing more to the chest. Next exhalation, slowly lower your legs, your chest, your head down. We'll do same again. Reach head and feet away from each other. And as you inhale, peel your chest, your legs off the mat. Open your chest. Now you could even lift your hands off the mat. So you're hovering your arms. Exhale again, lower your chest, your head, your legs down. Same again. Reach legs and head away from each other. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Remember the inner thighs. Either keep hands on the mat or hover your arms, your hands away from the floor. Breathing more to the chest space. We'll go down once more and lift up once more. Exhale, lower your chest, your legs down. Really reach head and feet away from each other. One more in-breath. Lift your chest, your legs off the mat. And this time, we're going to stay here for longer. Remember, hands can be on the mat, or you can hover your arms. Try to peel the front of the shoulders away from the mat. Feel that space between your shoulder blades engaging in your upper back. Make sure there's no pinching in your lower back. You can always hover a bit lower down and keep gently pressing the front of the pelvis down. Try to keep your legs extended. Really reaching head and feet away from each other. Sending your breaths more to the chest, out to the ribs. With each exhalation, you might focus on drawing in through the lower belly just a bit more. One more breath in and out. And then with your next exhalation, slowly release yourself down. You can bring hands under your head and take a couple of belly breaths in and out. You can rock your pelvis from side to side. Or if you want, you can bend your knees and swing your shins, your feet from side to side. Just a bit of in-between movement. Knowing that next we're going to do those mini side planks, those movements on the other side. So when you're ready, bring yourself back onto hands and knees. I have my clock here, so I'm making sure we do the same length of time on both the sides. So now I'm gonna come onto my right side. You can just come onto the other side that you didn't already do. Again, check that your right elbow is under the right shoulder, so it's not too far forward, not too close to your hips. Have your right knee bent, or the bottom leg bent, the top leg extended, and then lift yourself off the mat. Lift the pelvis, your side, away from the mat. You could reach left arm, the top arm up, or keep it close to your body. And as you exhale, lower your pelvis almost to the mat, but hover it slightly. And then inhale, lift it again off the mat. So exhalation, we lower down. And inhalation, now we lift up. Another 5 times. Exhaling down, slow with control. Inhaling up, pushing also down through that right elbow. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Keep your neck free. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. 2 more times. Follow your own breath. Remember, use the exhalations from the lower belly. Exhaling down, and 1 more time, inhaling up. And now we stay here, and we're going to hover the top leg, the straight leg, and breathing here. So I'm timing 30 seconds for us here, so it's the same amount of time as we did on the first side. Keep a long line from head down to your left foot. Keep pushing the floor away with your right arm and keep breathing. That's really the key here. Keep breathing. Your muscles also need that oxygen. 1 more breath in. And then exhale, release down. And then come lie down on your back. Take a moment of rest on your back. Again, you might swing the legs. You might release your arms a bit. And now a block would be a handy tool for the next bridge pose. If you don't have a block, that's very fine. You can do this without a block as well. But if you have a block or even a pillow, bring it between your legs. Now this is to really fire those inner thighs. They are an important part of the core as well. And we're going to first do some 2-legged bridges, so normal bridges, and then we're going to do 1-legged bridges. Arms somewhere next to your sides, palms could be facing down or up. As you exhale, press your feet on the mat and gently squeezing the block between the legs, lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. It doesn't need to be your full bridge, but where you can feel the legs, the inner thighs, the pelvis, the back, all connected. Take another couple of breaths here. You might adjust your feet, your arms, so you find that strong bridge pose for yourself. And then as you exhale, lower the pelvis back down. We'll do the same again. Next exhalation, press your feet to the mat. Peel your pelvis, your back off the floor. Here, you might focus on pressing down more through the heels. I quite like to lift my toes off the mat. So that is something you can try as well. It helps me to engage my legs even more. Buttocks are engaged, but they're not squeezing together. That's why we use the inner thigh engagement here to balance the action that's coming from the glutes, from the buttocks. Let's take another breath in here. And then exhale, slowly bring your pelvis down. We're going to do that 1 more time, both feet on the mat. Exhale, press the feet down, lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. Only to a height that you don't feel pain in your back, but you feel that strong connection from feet through inner thighs, through pelvis into your spine, strengthening that back line, that back side of your torso. Take another breath in and out. And the next exhalation, slowly lower your back, your pelvis down. We'll put the block aside. You could hug your knees in to your chest. A couple of times, rock from side to side. I have our clock here again. Now we're going to go into the one-legged bridge. And the challenge here is to keep your pelvis level so one side doesn't drop down. So we really need the whole core from feet all the way to our shoulders. We're going to lengthen again, arms down next to the sides. And now we're going to lift left leg up towards the ceiling, right foot on the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your pelvis off the mat. And check that both sides of your pelvis are the same level. So don't let the left side dip down. And keep breathing here. Keep reaching the left foot up towards the ceiling. Don't let the right knee escape out to the side. So still feel that inner thigh engagement. Shaking is very fine here. We'll try to do another few breaths. But if you feel that you're collapsing, then you can always come down a bit earlier. Another breath in. And then exhale, slowly release down. Bring both feet down. You can swing the legs. And then very surprising, we'll do this all to the other side. So now leave your left foot down. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press down through the left foot and lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. Now your right leg reaching up. Again, try to check that you're keeping both sides of the pelvis in the same level. And keep breathing. With each exhalation, you can tap into that core support. Inner thighs engaged in both legs, not just in the left leg, but also in that lifted leg. Shoulders gently pressing down. A few more breaths here. Again, shaking is very fine. My whole body is kind of shaking, is feeling tired. That's very, very fine. And then exhale, release down. Bring both feet down. And you can swing the legs or hug the knees and rock from side to side a few times. And then from hugging the knees, we're going to roll again onto the left side. And now we're going to go into a full side plank. So we have a few options for the legs here. You're going to have your left elbow under the left shoulder. This time we're just going to stay for longer. And we're going to extend both legs. And you could either have your right foot in front of the left leg or have your feet on top of each other. Or as we go into the pose, I'll give you another option. Now first, find yourself into that side plank. Right arm reaching up or right hand on your right side. So the third option would be to bring your right leg into the tree shape, bending the right knee. You choose which option is good for you today. We have another 30 seconds here. Still pressing down through that left arm. In breaths moving to your ribs. Exhalations drawing in through the lower belly. If needed, you can come down earlier, but I think we can do another 15 seconds, another few breaths. One more breath in, and then exhale, slowly release down, Really well done. Let's come into child's pose for a moment. Round your spine. Just resting your arms. Allowing a couple of deeper breaths in and out. Our next longer pose is going to be full plank in the center. And we'll do a little bit movement there, and then we're gonna also hold the plank for a longer time. So slowly from child's pose, bring yourself onto hands and knees. And I suggest that we're going to do the plank down on elbows. But if that doesn't feel right for you, you can also do it up on your hands. And either turn your palms down towards the mat, that's potentially a slightly stronger option, or interlock your fingers, you have your hands together, lower arms in this kind of triangle shape. This is also to do with your shoulders and what your shoulders allow you to do. Either way, we're going to extend our legs and reach head and heels away from each other. And then we'll start. Exhale, lower your knees closer towards the mat, hovering them off the mat. And then inhale, extend your legs back. We'll do slow movements like this. Exhale, bend the knees slightly. Try not to move your pelvis. And inhale, extend your legs. And we continue. Exhaling, bending the knees. Inhaling, extending the legs. 2 more times. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, extend the legs. 1 more time. And then we're going to bend the knees, and now we're going to hover here. 5 to 10 breaths in and out, hovering the knees, but keeping the pelvis where it is. And shaking is very fine. One more breath. And then extend the legs. And 5 to 10 more breaths here. Again, shaking is fine. Push the floor away with your arms. Shoot your head and heels away from each other. We can do another 2 breaths in and out. And after those 2 breaths, bring your knees down and again round your back into child's pose. Well done. Long planks. You might rock your pelvis from side to side. You can bend your arms more. And just take a couple of deeper breaths in and out. Now we have almost completed our core strengthening movements and poses. You might know what we have next. We have the side plank on the other side. So slowly, slowly bring yourself onto hands and knees and know that this is going to be the last one. So put all the rest of your energy, strength and power into this one. So I have now my right arm down and my right leg is the bottom leg. But if you're doing this reversed, then just know that you are doing the second side. And we're going to have the same options for the legs. You could have left foot in front of the right foot. You could have your feet on top of each other. Or once we are in the side plank, you can always bend the top leg into that tree. So let's get ready. Lifting the pelvis off the mat. Left arm reaching up or left hand on your side. And then, if you want, you can bend your left leg into the tree shape. Find your option. And breathe. Like I said, this is our last strengthening movement. So focus on your breath. We can do this for another 30 seconds. Keep pushing the floor away with your right arm. It might help to reach the left arm up. Another few breaths in and out. And shaking is very, very fine. Take one more breath in and out. And then slowly, slowly release. And now bring yourself to lie down on the back. Really well done. If your body feels tired now, that is very, very fine. If you feel that you'd like to repeat this, you'd like to do another round, you can pause here, go back to the very beginning of the video and do the whole thing again. I'm going to now take you to a couple of more relaxed poses and Shavasana pose. So this would be a good time to go back to the beginning if you feel like you still have energy, something you need to get rid of, or if you want to strengthen more. If that one round was enough, stay with me here. And we're going to go into supported bridge pose. So this is where the block or a pillow would be really handy again. We're going to now elevate pelvis off the mat and then slide that block, that prop, under the pelvis. So no more strengthening for the legs. Now really just let your pelvis rest on top of that support. You could open legs into a butterfly, or you might extend legs onto the mat or kind of along the mat as well. And bring arms to a place that feels relaxed for the shoulders. Could be overhead, could be on the sides like a cactus or T shape. And then focus on sending your breaths down towards the belly. Now we start letting go of the idea that we are engaging the core. Now we start to soften the core. And let your breath relax. Let the front of the hips, the belly area, maybe very gently stretch or release tension. Let the shoulders soften. Take another breath or two in and out. And if you have your legs extended or if you have your legs in a butterfly, just slowly start to bring your feet back on the mat. If you have arms overhead, slowly bring arms, hands down next to your sides, next to the pelvis, so that we could then lift the pelvis off the block, move the block aside and bring back down on the mat. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, towards the belly. And then we're going to go into a twist. And I'm suggesting first we kind of move the pelvis out to the right and bring legs, knees down on the left side of the mat. Open the chest, maybe open the right arm out to the side. And here, try to now release the right side body. That side body has been working very hard in those side planks. Allow that right shoulder to gently release into that open shape. If you want, left hand could be resting on your right knee or thigh. And send a couple of breaths down and up along the spine. Head can turn to one side or the other, so find a place that allows your neck to release. Take one more breath in and out in your twist. And then slowly roll back onto your back. You can bring your pelvis to center. And then we're going to go onto the other side of the twist. And now you could lift your pelvis slightly to the left side of the mat and then bring your knees down to right. So with that slight shift of the pelvis can help us to align the pelvis, the shoulders. And then you could open the left arm out to the left side. You can find a place where you feel you could release, maybe stretch that left side of the body. Head can turn to one side or the other. So find an easy, soft place for the neck and shoulders. They've been working hard as well. And then just breathe down and up along the spine. Take a few more breaths in your twist. Notice where you could soften tension, release hold and release effort. And then after those few breaths, slowly you can roll back onto your back. And then it is time for Shavasana pose, for our final resting pose. You might stay lying down on the back, or you might roll onto your belly if that's a better place for you now. You could also rest lying down on one side. Any easy pose. You could have one hand on the belly, other hand closer to the ribs. And then send a few breaths down to your hands, down to the chest, down to the belly. Let yourself rest here. Just softening that corset. Softening the spine. Softening your shoulders and arms. Softening your hips, softening your legs. If you feel tension in the neck, you might rock your head from side to side a couple of times. Give yourself at least a few more breaths here. Checking in how you're feeling now. And if you feel that you need a longer resting pose, then stay here for longer. Give yourself the Shavasana pose that you need today. If after a few breaths you feel you'd be ready to start waking up your body, coming out of that Shavasana pose, and start to bring some movement to your hands, your feet. You might open your eyes and take a bigger breath in and out. Maybe lengthen arms overhead. And then roll down onto your side. And bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seat. But like I said, you might still stay in your Shavasana pose. Take your time. This is your practice. When you feel that you're ready to let go of your practice, you can bring palms together in front of the chest. And as always, most importantly, thank yourself for bringing yourself into your body, into your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you.